Kerrit podcast. Podcast, good song.
Yeah, this sounds like something carrots could grow to.
Crunch into us.
What's up, Doc? What are we doing?
I don't know.
Fuck them.
Crunch.
Jeez.
It might be because I spilled water all over my headphones.
Wow, how'd you do that?
Well, it wasn't beer, luckily. Oh, actually, you know what I did? So you know how you think... Okay, there's a lot of different kinds of
I've
carpet,
stopped thinking.
right? Okay, great. So there's a lot of carpets out there. There's like the ones that's in your grandpa's basement in the storage room that's like, it's basically just cement, basically.
Yes, yep.
And then there's like a little bit above where it's like, hey, like, honestly, I could probably beat this carpet into submission. And then there's like that fluffy kind that's probably the most popular. And then there's shaggy carpet if you travel back in time to the 70s.
Yep.
So I have that second one where it's not super fluffy, but it's, you know, you could beat it up.
We have that too. It gets better once you vacuum it. Like
We do vacuum.
Yeah.
I have to say we do. And what I'm trying to say is I thought it was flat enough to put a canister of water on it. Hear me out before you criticize.
I would do
I
that.
didn't do it to the shaggy carpet of the 70s or to the relatively thick carpet that generally is popular now. But this time, it just seemed like this would work. Completely uneven, fell over immediately, and that was the end of that.
It's so funny that it wasn't like teetering for a second, and then it literally...
It was
you
like
set it down, you took your hand on it.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
Fell.
Because I wasn't looking. Because
Yes.
I have to, I mean, this is, if we're going to be talking about this story, I drink a lot of water. This is a new thing with me. My mom got this for me for Christmas. It's 25 ounces of water. And I don't know what it is about this water bottle in particular, or if it's because it is a gift, but I drink like it all day, every day. If I'm at home, it's always next to me. It just is always there. And I get into the habit of sitting on the couch and having it right next to me on the end table. And of course, the end table is not carpeted, so it's flat.
I hope not.
So if my back is acting up, I'll sit on the carpet with my back against the couch, so it's like extra straight. And so because I was basically where I always sit with the end table, I was like, this carpet's basically an end table. And then that's when sometimes you get too comfortable in your surroundings is what it is.
I don't think you're in the wrong here, bud. I really do think that carpet is fine to have water on. I think maybe you could have just set it down diagonally and it fell. Maybe you didn't set it down levelly.
That's possible. I mean, look, anything's possible. I don't know how to set things down. What's this? Is this the bottom?
You know what the issue? You know what the issue is? Hold that up again. The bottom of it, it doesn't. Is it flat? It kind of seems like not.
It's pretty flat. I think it's these little edges here. It doesn't give it. It's like stylish because it kind of looks like a 2-liter of Coke, which I don't know how that's helpful.
I know what you mean.
But
well, I've been drinking water too, and these things, like if you grab it and hold it like that, it immediately indents.
Mm-hmm.
If it's been opened, and then you set it down, and it falls.
They're just. It's so weird. They're like cheap plastic water bottles. They're not like, I don't know, Aquafina.
Yeah,
they have a nice Dasani.
I guess they use less plastic. I don't know. What I do is I'll buy the plastic and then I'll refill it as many times as I can before it stinks, and then I'll recycle it.
Yeah, people always say like you're gonna get extra plastic in you or whatever. Have you heard of this?
People are filled with shit.
That was my thought, was like, well, I think the studies have shown that is true, but also studies have shown everyone everywhere that's alive
already
has plastic in them. So.
Dude, we have been eating plastic since the birth of plastic. I mean, there's nothing you can do that's going to curb it, and you might as well drink some water with your plastic if you're going to get down right to it.
Yep. So So,
Okay.
Jinx, you owe me a Coke, motherfucker. I'm bringing back the 90s.
Man, nostalgia.
So I'm bringing, yeah, I know. We were talking about nostalgia earlier. Before we dive into that, I just wanted to introduce everybody to
The Kerrit podcast. Thanks for
Yes.
listening and watching.
also Modest Brewing, and
Oh.
they have a New England Pale Ale that's quite good.
Now, do they know that they spelled modest wrong?
No, it's
M-O-D-I-S-T?
it is spelled like that specifically, and I will tell you why. I will tell you why.
Kevin will
If
tell
this-
you why, everybody.
They okay, listen. Things have been shut down for over a year, and
No, not over a year. Just not even
Oh,
almost a year.
Almost a year.
Let's-
Sorry.
Let's not jump the
Sorry,
gun.
everyone.
Everything's gonna open up March 12th. It's gonna be amazing. It's gonna go away magically.
I thought 11 and a half months was close enough to 12, but Gerrit set me straight.
Really quick about Trump while you're looking up Modest Brewing. This is for the people on YouTube, but Jackie and I, we were watching something, and they replayed something. I think it was like a Biden documentary, but they replayed that moment where they're having that debate. Do you remember this debate where they're talking, and then Biden's like looking into the camera, and he's like, "Think about when you have your wife." This is not an impression, but it's turning into one because I can't get the fucking words out. But
Yeah, you
like,
can't do a Biden, I just realized.
no, I'm not even trying to do one. But like, think about your wife at the kitchen table, your loved ones, but because of COVID, they're not there. And the moment he's saying that, it's a split screen because it's a debate, but Trump is just looking at him, and then he immediately, like, his mouth sinks and his eyes get big, and it is the funnest. It's the most fun impression to do as Trump now. It's not to say anything. It's just to
dropping the mouth.
just like you can't believe someone said that in front of you about you. Like, if you read between the lines, it's like, "You bitch. I can't believe you said that. You would have lost more more Joe. Sleepy Joe."
Oh gosh. So I did look it up.
Why didn't he call him Sloppy Joe? That's so much funnier. Everyone gives Trump credit for being fucking funny. He stammers his words.
I love people that give him credit for anything. I don't
yeah.
want to get into a bashing Trump thing.
No, I've heard a lot of people, like comic friends of mine, who I do respect and love, but they're like, "You got to hand it to him." They don't say it that way. They'll say it's such a shame.
Hand it to him.
Look at these heads. Are they small? Well, you got toe thumbs, so shut up.
It's the obesity that makes him look small.
Yes. I could grip a golf club and hit a fat. Can't believe you said that.
Just saying, I could grip a golf club in his wrist. I don't know.
I could, but Melania tells me all the time how great I grip golf clubs. What was I saying? I was talking about.
You're talking about his reaction, I guess. It's
No.
like the funny thing. And,
Yeah.
your comic friends are saying,
Yes.
and you respect them, but you're kind of like, well, I don't know about this opinion. Is all.
Well, they'll say things like, if he wasn't president, you would be able to you'd be able to recognize how funny he is. And they're basically saying, like, he's funny. And then I'm like, I think I'm the only person that's like, no, he's not. Like, what he was saying, kung flu. That was the thing that he said. I'm like people are like, that's hilarious. And they're like, if he wasn't president, that'd be funny. I'm like, it's not funny. It's not a funny thing. It's fucking stupid. And he's an asshole. And I don't give a fuck how funny. If he was actually funny, he would have said Sloppy Joe and not Sleepy Joe. That's hilarious.
I mean, I don't know. I find that guy such a void of charisma that I could never attribute anything to him. I don't get how anyone could say anything good about him at all.
Yeah.
You can say bad things about a void, because like you can look at that void and be like, something is just giving me a weird feeling. Like,
and then I could look at that void and go, I think I'm going to touch it.
grab it by the void.
I'm going to grab her by the void.
Okay.
That's just a blocker room talk.
We're trying to get into. We're talking about nostalgia, but here's modest.
You were modest, yes.
So the reason I say I haven't been like things have been shut down for so long. I said a year.
Yeah.
You corrected me. Thank you. And it's because I went to this place, Modest Brewing, and it's really close to my apartment, and it's really cool that I live so close to like a really cool place like this. But they didn't misspell it. They intentionally spelled it like this because this definition of modest means a person who adheres to the latest trends or fashion styles. So,
so like me. I wore the coolest masks when I had COVID. That's the only time I wore it, when I had it. Never knew if I had it before I had it. Still don't know if I have it after I have it. Not wearing a mask. Sloppy Joe. Sloppy Joe Lappy. Get out of here.
Did not expect that. I don't know.
He called Elizabeth Warren Pocahontas. And I'm like people are like, oh, that's funny. I'm like, no, Sacagawea would be funny.
Why would Sacagawea be funny?
Because it's a funnier word than a fucking Disney movie. Like, when I hear Pocahontas, I think...
Pocahontas is the worst Disney movie. Have you watched that thing recently?
No, but isn't it all about, like, white savior shit?
It's so tone deaf, bro. I don't care what people say.
Mel Gibson plays John Smith. Looks nothing like him.
Perfect choice, though. Perfect choice.
Jesus.
Hey, sugar tits. I mean, Pocahontas.
Wow, speaking of nostalgia.
I know.
Remember when that was a thing and his career was over and then he
like
wasn't canceled?
Fucking literally 15 years ago.
Yeah, it was about 15.
Yeah, I think so. And then he had those audio tapes released of his like Russian war.
Dude, if you guys listening or watching can track those down, it is some of the funniest fucking
YouTube.
Yeah, it's fucking hilarious just to hear him go off about this. I mean, she's the bad guy, right? Like, she used him for his money, right?
I don't care.
It doesn't matter.
I don't care. Everyone's up in arms over everything. I can't be up in arms over
You're right.
what some Russian ex-wife said like 10 years ago to Mel Gibson.
Does Melania count? I can't remember what nationality she is. My own wife. She hates Christmas. She tore all the trees out. I said, Melania, you should probably keep those. And then she said, Donald, what do you think I'm going to do? Put the ornaments on the tree? Come on, Donald, I don't like Christmas. That's what she said to me. And then I said, I can't believe you, Mitch.
Where is this coming?
You should, listen, Melania, sit down and blow me. I was quoting my friend Mel Gibson in those Russian tapes.
I'm so sorry, audience. I had no idea he was going to be doing this, and it's so funny right now.
It's because it's hilarious. Man, Donald, he is so funny.
Your impression of Melania was Donald doing
I know.
Melania.
And then my wife, Melania, she says, Donald, I don't know why you'd say this to me. And then my son...
So sorry.
My son Baron hit a growth spurt. Puberty's hitting him. His balls drop. This is what he sounds like. Hi, Dad. I don't know. Dad, I don't want to drive the golf cart.
Oh my God.
Mar-a-Lago, more like Mara Ivan Drago. I'm so funny. And then I said, Barrett, what? You can't be funnier than me.
Stop. Just stop. We have a show. We have a show to do.
Oh, man. I hope no one, drove off the road while listening. They're like, oh, my God. And then the last thing they hear is Mara Ivan Drago.
Oh, my God. This is my first beer that I'm only halfway through with it. I feel like I'm fucked up because of how funny that shit is. I'm crying right now.
Dude, do you remember when we used to hang out in person and just lose our fucking minds laughing?
Oh my God, yes, I do actually. It's very fun. It's a good time. Who doesn't like laughter? I mean, everyone does, and that's why people want to find the good in Donald when he says things that are like apparently funny.
I really thought that you were moving on.
No.
And you brought it back to Donald.
What a clown. He is funny. He's a clown. He has makeup on.
Clowns aren't funny unless you're Roger Moore and Octopussy.
He is pretty terrifying. Clowns are pretty terrifying.
They are.
So, I don't know. They're just droopy. They look like candles. I don't know what's going on in there. Anyways. Everyone.
I can fit so many people in my car. I am a clown. Why so serious?
Because he had the Secret Service drive him around, and he was like waving to people to show how healthy he was.
I remember that. Just putting everyone at risk.
Dude, every once in a while, things feel sane a little bit now.
Yeah.
And so, like, for example, when the not the impeachment trial. I guess it was after the second impeachment trial, but it was the trial, like the actual trial.
Yeah.
And they were bringing up like his tweets and his speeches from like 8 months ago, kind of trying to build their case. And I was like, oh fuck, I forgot he said that.
Yes.
And then like, yeah,
they're showing footage. I'm like, oh, I forgot that he did that.
So much stuff, so much content out there, endless content. I mean, you could like deep dive this shit in like 30 years and just go get some mushrooms and pull up like 50 hours of YouTube videos of this insanity. And one of them is going to be him waving to everybody to show that he's healthy, even though he's fucking near death and he has like fetal, I don't know what the fuck, tissue shoved into his lungs. I'm 100% not trying to spread conspiracy theories. That's definitely a joke, just so everybody knows.
Yeah, we have to definitely clarify that as a joke. I have a joke.
Kevin, he didn't have fetal tissue shoved in his fucking lungs, you fucking asshole.
God, no one understands nuance.
Sorry, I know.
Do you remember the time? So I don't know if it was like Brinks. Is that what her name was? Brinks. She was one of the people for the disease, whatever. It was during coronavirus, like the beginning of the pandemic. I can't remember if it was her or someone else, but they were all up on the stage. There wasn't any social distancing or whatever. They're all just standing up there. And then she says something to the effect of, I kind of laid low this weekend. I had a little bit of a mild fever. And then Trump immediately is like, boop, and he just leaves the stage.
Yes,
yeah, you remember
I do remember that.
That was another moment. I saw this on Reddit. People were like, oh my God, he's so funny. It's another instance of him being funny.
He's a piece of shit.
I'm like, no.
He's just an asshole.
If you look at it in the context of what happened, he talked to fucking Deep Throat, told him, like, it's a big deal. Because what's his name from
Deep Throat in real life?
No, All the President's Men. Who's the guy?
Deep Throat.
No, not the guy, but not Deep Throat specifically. Woodward. Bob Woodward.
Oh, yes.
He told Woodward on a phone conversation that it is a big deal.
Yeah,
people are dying. Then
nothing
he tells
will become
everyone
of that audio. It's so crazy. What a reality we live in. It's been really crazy these last.
Then he goes on Twitter, the airwaves, everything says it's fine. It's going to go away magically. And then someone on his fucking coronavirus team says that, and then he leaves the stage, and people are like, "Oh my God, so funny." I'm like, no. He is taking it seriously. No one else is, because he's telling them not to. Like, what in the actual fuck? He's so funny. I went to Second City. I studied. All right. Sorry.
It's funny because he's how do I put? I mean, that's just who he is. Just this vapid, empty husk of a human being who just does things. He's like the Joker,
no method to the madness.
I was gonna say no makeup, but that's not true. And I just,
yep.
I don't know. He's just there's just
Maybe I'm
this
bored
thing
with it.
there.
Maybe it's Maybelline.
All you need is a little push.
Sorry. Want to know how I got these scars? My father was a drinker, but he was actually a really nice man. I just squandered all the money that he gave me. He only gave me $1 million. Was it 10 million? I can't remember. I'm turning into Nixon for some reason. Oh, I think I know why.
Nostalgia. Oh, hey.
It's so funny. We just got nostalgic for making fun of Donald Trump.
It's so. Getting older and experiencing world events at this age is incredible.
Mm-hmm.
And I say this because, as an example, in the before times, I was reading Total Recall by Arnold Schwarzenegger, the greatest man of all time. That's not true, actually. I do really like him, regardless of, any criticism. You can criticize everybody. I'd like to just throw out there real quick.
Yeah, you really can.
I get it. He cheated on his wife. It's obviously not a good thing that he did that. But
she was a Kennedy, right? She's still alive. She is still alive.
She is a Kennedy. And he actually explained it pretty interestingly in his book. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. I want to talk about a picture in that book of Arnold sledding with George H.W. Bush when he was president, when Bush 1 was president.
Mm-hmm.
And how that was 30 years ago. And I guess what I'm trying to say is even then, Republicans were not doing the right thing.
Yeah.
I guess, you know what? I don't want to get too political. That just popped in my head. Let's move on.
No, I mean, let's explore this. This is therapy. Well, what did you mean? Even then, because they were sledding together? What's the connection?
The connection, I guess, is just politics have always been at the forefront of our American experience, of a world experience, really, but American especially, because politics are an integral part of society.
It's
right?
Politics, entertainment, and religion. I feel those are the three go rounds.
Economics. I don't know if that counts as politics.
Yeah,
but more and more it seems like it is. But I guess what I mean is there used to be sort of a separation. Even if the president was a piece of shit or had terrible policies. And maybe he wasn't the worst person, but he just wasn't that good. There was still a pedestal of sorts.
Yeah, you kind of respected him, because you had to.
That's pretty much it.
It's like your parents, where it's you don't get to pick your family. You're just born, and you look around. You're like, oh, these people. I guess I'll learn to love them. It's kind of how it is with the president. Before, I feel thinking about, you used to not tell people who you voted for. That was a legitimate thing. Mm-hmm. That was a thing that you did not talk about this, or this at the dinner table. And now it's the entire conversation. Mm-hmm. And it's not that I want to go back to that, by the way. I think we should be talking about these things. I think it's weird that we never talked about it before. But it's this interesting thing of oh, who really cares? They're off in Washington. And now people are getting more a part of it. And if you'll notice, the people that are in power are the ones that don't want people to talk about it. They don't want us to be engaged. There's voter suppression acts that are happening every fucking election, and now they're trying to double down on who can vote because of what happened in Georgia and across the country because there was a higher Democratic turnout. So they don't want people to be involved. I don't want certain people to be involved. Ideally, if you chew inside, I don't think that you should fucking...
Did you say chew inside?
Yeah.
If tobacco?
Yes. Some of these...
You're chewing tobacco inside?
Yeah, some of these fucking backwoods places I performed in, they'll have their own Pepsi bottle and they'll just be spitting while I'm telling jokes. I'm like, what are you doing?
tobacco chewing community for? They're great.
Oh my God.
Hey,
They're fine.
The head coach of the Detroit Lions chews, and
Is he outside?
I don't know. I mean, like right now, I'd have to call him. I don't know.
It was just an example. I was trying to be funny, but I mean, I haven't fucking told a joke on stage in over 6 months, so.
He did chew in the Amazon warehouse, but he always had a bottle. But I did work with a diabetic who had a Coke bottle full of peanuts. So which one's more gross, you know?
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah. He's like, hey guys, I have a new treat. And then it was like ice cream with peanuts, except for it was Coke and not ice cream.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Holocaust deniers shouldn't be allowed to vote. Just people that are fucking, like, based solely in a fantasy world. It's, but you know, then again, we just have to outnumber them. That's the way that the system is rigged. So, you know.
So,
anyway,
speaking of rigging, GameStop's back on the rise.
I saw that, and then everything else that I'm invested in has fucking been crashing. So
I know I've been
eat my ass. These GameStop fucks.
All the tech stocks now that everything has crashed. It's been wonderful. It's been everything's on a discount.
It's yeah. I mean that's great. I just don't have the money to invest more into stuff. So.
That's not a terrible thing because it's all gonna leave eventually. I don't know. I don't trust any of this, but it has been exciting because I was at a. I don't know how much I'm allowed to say. I did get a little swept up in the initial frenzy, and watching it unfold these last couple days has been like, "What's up?" Like, hey, girl, like, how are you doing?
How much is it went up?
Did you hear that?
What?
There was like a car outside your apartment, and it went like this.
Yeah, it's like a motorcycle or something. I don't know why.
Oh, people are motorcycles in the winter. That's so dangerous.
People are stupid. I mean, it's that kind of weather where it's warm, like all the snow is melting, but it's in certain areas where the sun's not touching it, it's turning into ice. Mm-hmm. So I slipped today. I caught myself, but I like pulled my shoulder and neck in a weird way, so now it hurts through here. I'm almost 30, and I literally did this for the YouTube people. I literally and fucking fucked this up.
Yeah,
so
that sucks. Yeah. I'm in constant back pain, so it's
are you?
Yeah.
Oh,
I honestly think it's some of the pounds I put on during COVID quarantine.
Yeah.
Which, to be fair, it's not like that much. It's nothing crazy, but you know how sometimes just like a little bit is enough to kind of throw your body out of whack, especially for like oh, now it's in my room. Do you hear that?
Dude, he fucking started here and then went to your place.
Holy shit! We have fucking figured out some quantum travel shit.
It was me. I bought a Harley. All right. I bought a Harley Quinn. She's great. She gets me to where I want to go.
That's a good show. I don't know if we've talked about this yet.
Yeah, we have. It's good.
It's on HBO Max. I recommend it. It is surprisingly fun to watch.
Okay.
Also, one other one. I have a recommendation for you. The Nick with Clive Owen, directed by Steven Soderbergh.
Oh, I haven't heard of that.
It's 2 seasons on HBO Max, and it's 10 episodes each season, and I 100% recommend it. It is set in 1900 in a hospital, and the surgery scenes are the most graphic, disgusting, crazy makeup effects, gross stuff I've seen ever. I can't watch it generally. I mostly watch it for the drama side and not for the surgery stuff.
Okay.
It's so gross. Surgery
stuff really freaks me out.
Yeah, then never mind. Because, like, seriously, it is crazy.
I'll watch it. Dude, that's the thing is, like, I have so many things to watch. I have, 4 shows recommended from you now?
Yeah, I do. Well,
and I haven't watched any of them. I mean, yeah.
We just said I mean at the same time, but it's tough because I don't have anything better to do at the moment. I mean, it's winter here. It was sub-zero for like 2 weeks very recently, like last week, and I was just murdering shows. Watchmen was great. The Nick was great. Search Party was great. And I've been wanting to catch up on these shows. These shows have been out there for quite some time. And like when True Detective came out in like 2013, 2014 or so.
I've only seen the first season.
And I've seen the first two, but even then I was like, man, I'm like struggling to keep up with all this good shit out there.
Yeah.
And it's only gotten worse as streaming services have multiplied like rabbits.
In this time that we've been talking, I've thought of probably 8 shows I still have not finished watching.
Throw them out there, bro.
Fargo, Rick and Morty,
Yeah.
True Detective.
Finally finished Rick and Morty. Great show still.
For some reason, I've always wanted to watch the Scream series because it's like...
Really?
I mean...
It looks awful to me.
It does, but at the same time, it's like... You know, it's like something I got from the library and then was like, oh, I'll put this on my computer and watch it sometime. I also have 11/22/63.
That I've always wanted to see because the book is phenomenal.
That's another thing.
And it's James Franco. And it's Jonathan Demme. It was like one of the last big projects he did before he died.
Yep. So all these things, I mean, you know, I think I'm caught up on It's Always Sunny.
I'm not caught up on Always Sunny. I'm not caught up on Better Call Saul.
Better Call Saul is a show
doesn't count.
What did you say? Sorry.
I said I gave up on Walking Dead, so that doesn't count. I don't give a shit about that one.
Yep. Better Call Saul, for sure. I mean, I haven't even seen El Camino, the fucking Breaking Bad.
Yeah. I've only gotten halfway through that. Never finished it.
It's just, it sucks because there's so much out there. I know I'll die before watching everything I want to watch. I've just accepted it. I threw my neck out. I don't, you know.
You're done.
This all takes precedence over finishing fucking Sherlock, you know?
Sherlock, though, is that worth finishing?
I was trying to throw an example out. You're no-butting me.
Oh, sorry. Do it. Try again.
Nah.
No, say it one more time, please. And? Did it work?
No.
But,
yeah, I don't know. There's so many fucking things, and it's like, I've made peace with the idea that I just won't be able to watch them all.
You're not even 30, technically. Let's all relax.
Not with these variants, buddy.
They'll be fine. I mean, worst comes to worst. We're in quarantine for another year. I heard a rumor that scientists are actually trying to develop like a wide-scale coronavirus vaccine that would be like a bunch of coronaviruses. So,
I mean, they can do it.
Yeah. So
I think tackling this one first is probably what's helped them pave the way for the other ones, you know?
Mm-hmm. Oh, totally.
So.
The research they've done is like incredibly valuable to them. I'm excited because I don't know if I said this at the top of the hour, but Heather's getting her vaccination today.
What? I didn't know this. This is great news.
It just happened yesterday. I mean, she just got confirmation yesterday.
Fuck yeah. Is it through her work?
It is because she's a teacher, so yes. And
good.
It's interesting because I have my second dose scheduled for the day after my birthday. Mm-hmm. And the reason it's interesting is because I'm going through the county. Like the county here Hennepin County has like their own system for dealing with distribution.
That's what I signed up with, the Kent County.
And so, but she signed up with this company called Vault. So, but they both have the same vaccine. They're both Moderna. Now, the reason I bring this up as interesting is because, like, why are there two different distribution methods? Like, how is that working? How is Vault getting it? How is Hennepin getting it? Who else is getting it? Is there another party? And are they talking to each other? Are they dividing up the same supply because they are using the same vaccine?
Well, the thing is, it's different in every state.
It is.
So here in Michigan, we have Meyer. They're doing it. We have Walgreens. What's CVS, I think. They're all starting to do you can sign up, and I think some people are able to get vaccinated there, depending on what group they're in. But, I signed up with the county, and I know you can sign up with everything. But yeah, I don't. Normally, the way that vaccines work is there's like flu shots, especially, is that there's like a state or county pool or whatever of like the high top-notch vaccines, and then you have like you know, a Walgreens or a CVS. They get like the second tier. I think that's usually how it works. Jackie has told me about this, but I you know, in one ear and out the other. I'm kidding. But I've forgotten. But that's usually how it goes. It's like you have like a stockpile for, you know, the top notch or something like that. But then the other places under it will get a lesser, you know, another company that's making the same thing. So it's like store brand raisins versus like, you know, the one with the lady on the front.
Right. The lady. I know what you're talking about. Sun-Maid.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sun-Maid. She's the Sun-Maid.
Do you want a Sun-Maid vaccine or do you want a Meyer brand vaccine?
I don't like raisins.
I know. It's not Meyer putting out the thing. So, you know, I don't know how to describe it.
Do you like craisins?
Yeah, they're good.
I think all craisins taste the same. So I would take the Meyer brand craisins.
Okay. Yeah. So, but these craisins don't prevent the flu or coronavirus.
Well, so are you talking about a little bit like the Johnson and Johnson vaccine comes to mind when you talk about this because it only has like 70-something% efficacy.
Yes.
But you could technically, because there's a whole batch of that, you could get that and then wait like however many months for the more powerful vaccines to be distributed and then like sign up for that. Mm-hmm. I don't see why you wouldn't be able to do both of them. At least I think that's what is actually the plan even.
Oh, interesting. I didn't know that. Well, yeah, I mean, what I'm saying is reflective of previous vaccines and other because there are different types of vaccines for different types of things. Like there are multiple different vaccines for you know, why can't anything come to mind? Hepatitis A, I don't fucking know. But or flu shots. Like there's companies that make different ones, just like we have with coronavirus. But the way that these are all working is that they're all top notch basically. And Johnson and Johnson is an example of one that's like less effective. So, but it's still effective.
Yeah. And it's only one dose, which is cool.
And it is one dose. And I think that the side effects are less. Like there's less side effects, which makes sense because it's less effective. So, but the point being, if this was any other time and any other thing, I think that's how they would be running it. Like, you know, your Myers and your CVS's and your Walgreens would be getting the Johnson and Johnson, and the, you know, your local thing, if you have insurance, like your hospital that you go to, if you have insurance with them or whatever, would have, you know, the Moderna or the Pfizer. But it's completely different. This is completely different, unprecedented. So
I know, it's so interesting.
It's going much differently.
Yep.
So that's the thing. The thing, I would go to Meyer, but I don't know if there's going to be someone who's specifically trained to inject it that's going to be injecting it.
I bet you they would have that.
I'm sure they would, but I would trust the county more.
I can see that. I see what you mean. No. I mean, as an example, I went to Walgreens to get my flu shot this year. I don't know. I mean, it's not that hard to give a vaccine. You know, like if you work in a pharmacy and you go through a training session to deliver a vaccine, like you're pretty good to go at that point.
Yeah.
I went and undertook basic life support procedures, and I am now certified as such. I know. Yes, you should. Where's Jackie? Is she there? Oh, darn. Well, this has been the Kerrit Podcast, everybody. Signing off.
I was waiting for you to save me.
No, you were
It's
dying.
okay, I'll save him. Come here, give me your lips. A baby bird you to life.
You know who needs to play Trump in a movie is Danny McBride. I would 100% watch that.
That'd be pretty good.
He'd be the perfect version of a ruthless asshole.
Come on, Kev, I can do it. I can just put me in that fucking powder yellow wig. And,
powder yellow. That's not a color.
I know. If piss turned to dust, it would be Trump's wig.
So good. Oh my God. Yeah. So, yes, vaccines are awesome. I am ready. Listen to this. I live only a couple miles from Target Field, which is where the Twins play.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I first moved here, I was like, sweet, I'm going there all the time. Baseball tickets are pretty cheap, I should say. It's basically going to see a movie.
Yeah.
And so we obviously everything got shut down. But if I'm vaccinated and Heather's vaccinated and the season's starting up in April, it's like, hey, we got like a month to kind of get vaccinated, and then they can start their home season, or like the season at home, and then you know, that's it. It's just happiness after that.
That's amazing.
Mm-hmm. Indeed.
You'll be. Excuse me. You'll be
probably. I'll shotgun a beer beforehand.
You'll be moving on from the podcast. Is what I'm saying. You'll be out there living your life. You'll get out of work. You'll get out of work and be like, fuck, I don't want to be on my computer anymore.
I'm gonna go run outside. Mm-hmm. No, I don't know. We'll see. I don't think that's the truth at all. In fact,
that's good.
There's so much going on that you can do. You know what's weird is when everyone gets older, they grow more into their features. Mm-hmm. Have you noticed that?
Yeah.
So like the fun features grow and become more chaotic looking, and it's
what are you in reference to what?
I don't know. Like if you look at Adam Sandler, like he's always been like when he was younger, he was a good looking guy. He's not good looking. The man is like in his 50s. So like, how does one judge? But like, he's just like, he just looks just like
his head is an egg is what you're trying to say.
Yeah. Like those trolls in Ernest Scared Stupid.
Never seen that
one. Well, you're gonna have to look into that one.
Should I?
No.
If I have a list of television shows where you're like, this is great,
I know
you have to watch this. Also, throw this at the top of the list. Ernest Scared Stupid.
The Ernest movies. I'm gonna go out on a limb here. I don't mean to offend anybody. I grew up watching the Ernest movies. I don't remember anything about them despite watching them over and over again as a child. And I've seen a lot of retrospectives on Jim Varney's career. It seems like recently, like on YouTube, there'll be like a mini documentary or something. And or someone will post a scene from an Ernest movie because there's like fucking 10 goddamn fucking movies of this shit.
That's too many.
I don't know if they're worth rewatching, but I can't say that's true for everybody because I love Critters, this film franchise. So, one man's Critters is another man's Ernest movies.
Well, I think that they're both cult classics, but
totally.
I mean,
appeal to different people.
But like, one's comedy and one's horror.
Ernest isn't that scary.
Oh my God, that was a good joke, Kevin. That was a good left field. Great job. That I almost said. No, I'm not talking about Scared Stupid. I almost said that. I did just say it. That was great. I think that's the end of the podcast. Like,
great. It was good talking to everybody. I have nothing to do tonight, so I'm not gonna. I don't know. I guess I'll just.
Kev, you should stay up until 3 a.m. and watch WandaVision.
Oh my God,
I am so fucking excited.
So good. It is on at 3 a.m. I was trying to figure out where you were going with that. I've seen all the episodes. You mean like binge watch them again? Because even if I did that right now, I'd still be done before 3 a.m. But you're saying wait until the next episode comes out.
Yeah.
That show is so, how do I put this? it takes. Hang on, I'm right there. It's ahead
That's
of
what
other
she said.
programs. It's ahead of other programming in the way that it's kind of using creativity and technical camera work and to move a story forward.
Yes.
So it's ahead in that regard, but it's almost behind because I feel like we had this idea in like high school. Now, hear me out.
Did we?
Not
Oh.
this specific idea, but like using different like aspect ratios to reflect different things. I mean, to be fair, like I guess Scorsese did it in Raging Bull, I think, even.
I mean,
an 8mm camera to film home movie scenes in the middle of that movie.
yeah, many filmmakers have done
That's
that
true.
before.
Okay.
Like, you know, shooting with Tommy Wiseau with The Room. He
Shooting two cameras side by side.
one film, one digital. Great idea, you dumb fuck.
That
I
is
just
such-
want to have more choice to use. Oh, hi, doggy.
There's a very thin line between art.
Those cameras. All right.
Because they're right next to each
I know.
What is line? I might just watch The Disaster Artist. That's a good movie.
Yeah.
I feel bad. See, I don't want to get shit on, but I kind of miss James Franco a little bit. I'm going to throw that out there. I don't want to cause anybody any fuss, but
I miss what I thought he was. That's the thing when all these guys get caught up in something. I miss who I thought they were.
maybe that's a better way to put it, because he was on such a trajectory when 127 Hours came out in like 2010.
I remember. I fell in love with him in that movie.
And that was 11 years ago. And he was nominated for an Oscar. And he has since done a couple of good movies. This Is the End is one of the greatest comedies of the last decade. Or
Agreed.
2 decades even. Or 3 decades. Shit, it's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
But he has just churned out... So he got caught up in all those scandals. And then he has just churned out student film after student film level productions. Like 3 or 4 a year. And they're not memorable. And they're not... And he's like 43 or 44 now. And it's like, dude, like... your legacy, bro.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's probably the only option that he has. He's probably not getting any offers because, those allegations.
Yeah, that's true.
Were they proved? Did anything
don't
come
know.
of it?
I don't care.
I mean,
Here I go again. I don't know. There's only so much I can keep up with, if that makes sense. Like, if something bad happens, certainly someone deserves to be punished for that.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I don't know the nuance of all of these allegations that have come out. I know Harvey Weinstein's a piece of shit. Like, I know that.
Chris D'Elia, have you seen that?
I have heard of it. And
my God.
I got it. I'd love to dive into this. I just want to give a quick 30-second preface and say I had no idea who this fucking guy was until Super Bowl 54. I'm watching Super Bowl 54, the Chiefs and the 49ers. I'm at a buddy's place who happened to live in Minneapolis at the time. And it's halftime, right? And he's like, hey, dude, look at this. Gives me a video to a rap music video. It like gives me his phone to a rap music video. And it's, I don't remember who it was, but it's featuring Eminem. And all of a sudden, Chris D'Elia is how you pronounce his last name?
I think it's D'Elia.
D'Elia. He comes on rapping as Eminem. And I was like, what is this? I don't know what this is.
I've seen that too, and it's not funny.
That's what I thought, because I had no context. So I was like, what am I even watching? Like, I love Eminem, but like, what the fuck is this? And he's like, that's Chris D'Elia. I'm like, who? I still didn't know who he fucking was. I still don't know now. Like, I know he was in Army of the Dead and he was replaced by Tig Notaro because he did some weird, creepy stuff on Snapchat, but
yeah. Well,
that's
he was
all I know.
The story goes is that he was like hitting on minors and trying to groom them and get them to come, to his hotel or wherever he was in town. And like he got called out for that Like, they posted screenshots of him talking to girls and blah, blah, blah.
Right.
So then he made an apology, 9 months later? And the apology is literally him flipping the table. Like, he is saying, I did these things, but it's because I have, I'm addicted to sex. Like, that was the whole thing. And it's
like Kevin Spacey saying he's gay.
Yes, it's the exact, why would you pick that apology to use, you dumbass? Like, it's so fucking crazy because it's like, dude, we don't care that you fuck. We have a problem with you trying to fuck minors. Like, that's the issue. Oh my God, it's insane.
I didn't. Okay, couple things. When did he become famous?
I think one of the first major things he did was the Whitney Cummings show. And then after that, he blew up on Vine.
All of these things are so outdated.
I know. And then he had a podcast with Will Sasso, Brian Callen, who also has rape allegations against him, and Chris D'Elia. So yeah, all three of them had like a podcast. It was like the 10-minute podcast
Will
or something.
Sasso's still good though.
Yeah, I mean, he's too fat to do anything. So I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding. I love Will Sasso.
I'm kidding.
For now.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah. Like, that's the thing is, like, I'm afraid to like anybody because it's like, can you please be a good person? I'm afraid. I don't even know if I can like you anymore, Kevin. I don't know.
I don't know. Apparently, I don't care about any of this. I do care.
Can you like me?
I need to say, can I like you?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
I just said it because it's like you don't know anybody truthfully because of blah blah blah. I was making a joke. Can I like you? And then you're like, I don't know. Apparently, I can't care. And then I'm like, can you like me? And you're like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Get out of here, Chris.
Okay, bye.
No, we experimented last time. I just think it's crazy. Like, oh my god. There's this Kendrick Lamar quote in a song, and I'm paraphrasing, but he says, Michael Jackson made Billie Jean. You think he touched those kids? When shit really happens, when shit hits the fan, is you still a fan? That's the lyric. I'm again paraphrasing.
Oh, jeez.
It's such a good. It's a very somber reflection. It's a great song. I think Kendrick's great, but he has a point because Billie Jean's the greatest song of all time. I'm sorry, sorry.
Well, first of all, Chappelle had a joke about that in his special, and on Chappelle's show. Where he plays like they're asking him to be a juror or whatever, and they're like, right. Do you have any partial feelings? And he's like, he made Thriller.
Yeah,
that's the joke. So Kendrick's using it in a rap song with a different song, whatever. Secondly, I mean,
I don't think that should be. Are you saying that negatively?
It's been done. Yeah, I mean, it's
everything's been done.
Yeah, I guess
like
he's saying
your mom. Okay, I'm sorry.
I mean, technically, at least twice. I have a sister.
That's true.
Yeah, I just think that it's like it's hacky in a way, but he's going for a different thing. Like,
well, he's relating it to if someone, because he grew up in Compton, and what he was relating it to is if you heard I murdered somebody when I was a kid because I grew up with gangs, would you still be a fan of me? Or like, would you see me differently even after all of my songs where I am talking about like a huge array of situations and I'm not just being that typical like mumble rap type person.
Yeah, there's a difference between being gang initiated and killing someone and having remorse for it and changing your life for the better and completely saying that something that did happen did not happen and denying allegations the entire time when it's like pretty fucking clear that Michael Jackson fucked kids. So,
but that's the point that he's trying to make in that song.
Yeah.
So I think, anyways,
I think it's just I don't know. This happens all the time where people like use an example of somebody else where it's like, well, what about this person? And it's like, yeah, but they're
Whataboutism.
it's whataboutism, but it's completely different examples. Like you're comparing, not to shit on Kendrick. I haven't heard the song. I really can't go into too much detail. You also said you're paraphrasing, but I'm just saying from personal experience.
He says the N-word in the real lyrics.
Oh, well, I won't say that. But on record, I'm kidding. But I just don't. There's so many times where people are like, well, what about this? And it's like you're comparing two completely different things. You know where you get to compare two completely different things and make it funny? Jokes. You can do that in jokes because you're not truthfully serious. You're joking around. But if you're putting an element of truth to something, then you should be as completely accurate as possible because you're dealing in truth. You're not dealing in humor. And that's and to bring it completely around to Trump, that's a big problem that I have with people saying that he's funny when he's not trying to be funny. He's being authentic because he's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
It's not funny. So that's my whole thing.
Interesting. See, I think if it's in like a song, it doesn't. It's trying to evoke a response, and it's trying to evoke like a thoughtful critique of something.
Yeah.
And I can see how if you're just trying to talk about the legacy of another musician in comparison to yours, and talking about crimes.
Well, then talk about Sam Cooke. But the problem is not enough people know about Sam Cooke's situation, so therefore, like Michael Jackson is the next one.
Yeah, but you're now. I feel like it shouldn't matter. Like you can't just be like, oh, I can't reference Michael Jackson because of our crimes are different. I will reference Sam Cooke instead. I just feel like that's putting.
Well, that doesn't rhyme, so you wouldn't use that.
I mean, it's true. Like it has to do with, I think, creative intent. And I think that, especially with like songs or even like literature, like putting yourself in a box always. It doesn't always. Nothing always. If there's ever a true or false answer on your test and it says always, it's almost always false because nothing is always anything. But I just anyway, I just think that I didn't mean to get into this discussion. I meant that as an example.
No, I'm loving it. I think this is great.
But yeah, anybody within a certain realm, I think it's very acceptable to be making comparisons of that nature. It's difficult to know when not to, certainly. I think that this counts as totally fine for me.
Yeah. All right.
So, but
I will say this. There are certain jokes, like I can think of two right now from Jerry Seinfeld. I'll say one. I don't know if I told you about this before, but it annoys the shit out of me because it's an example of what I was saying. Like you can relate two different things because it's a joke. But this is an example where it annoys the shit out of me. It's like I before E except after C. Like this is the except after C.
Right.
He has a joke about like wearing a leather jacket. People are like, "Oh, don't get it wet. Don't, get it in the rain." But it's like, aren't cows outside in the rain all the time? What are they running up to the door? Let us in, we're swayed. That's the whole joke. But it's like, it's the inside of the hide. That's the reason. The outside of the hide is like what's getting wet, but it's the inside that is the leather jacket. That's the fucking reason. It's for me. Then it's like, well, I can just pick apart your joke. It's not funny.
That's interesting because I can see what you mean. I don't know. Seinfeld's one of the greatest shows of all time. Seinfeld, the comedian, his bits before the shows begin are always fun because they tie in like it's a theme.
Yeah.
I've seen maybe 5 minutes of his actual stand-up in real life, like on YouTube, and it's, not for me. So
yeah, I mean,
I don't know.
He was a big inspiration, but then you see more comics. Like I think for me, it was like I like Jerry Seinfeld, and then I heard Brian Regan, and I was like, oh, this guy's way better. I mean, not to compare, but they're both observational, they're both clean, but I think that Regan is fucking outstanding and keeps putting material out and didn't fuck a underage girl in
I was
the
gonna
80s.
say he did. So Seinfeld, he dated like a 17-year-old at the height of his fame, right?
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, I think it was several seasons into the run of Seinfeld that this happened.
Yeah, and
He had to,
newer
ask
way
for permission. Yeah,
yeah,
I know.
we're way longer.
I think I do wonder. I'm not trying to defend him at all. I'm just like positing that things have, like, that was 25 years ago, and things do change.
They do.
And everyone is digging up all this shit from the past, and it's tough to discern which has a place in modern critiquing. Like, you know, I mean, if you're in the 70s and you're David Bowie and you're like, I don't know.
If you have a 14-year-old girl throwing herself
that's so
at you,
young. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's so weird because, like, that's young as fuck, you know?
Well, then people try. I mean, after Bowie died, they tried to cancel Bowie. It's the Twitter mob. They tried to cancel Bowie because they're like, well, what about this girl? And Jimmy Page, he's still alive. Fuck him. And then the girl, like, literally did an interview, and she's like, are you kidding? It was David Bowie. I was happy to give him my virginity. Are you fucking kidding? Like, she had a big, long interview about that. And it's like, well, I mean, those are her feelings. Bowie doesn't owe us an apology. That's the whole thing. Is like, anytime these things happen, I feel like people try to make it like a personal thing because these people have put art out that have made us feel a certain way over time. And therefore you have a very strong, visceral reaction to what the person has done or is alleged of doing. Therefore, we feel entitled to, like, an explanation and all this stuff. It literally, I think, is between the two people, or the two parties, basically. That's how I look at it. But it's fun to make fun of Chris D'Elia because he's a fucking idiot. But other than that...
But in regards to what you said, I see your point, and I think this is why it's so complicated. But I think the whole point is that they are too young to make those decisions for themselves. So then,
for sure,
you know, like the adult has to be able to step up and be like, hey, like, no.
Yeah.
That being said, Army of the Dead looks amazing. And I actually like Tig Notaro more than Chris D'Elia. I'm not going to call him anything other than Chris at this point.
Well, and is there a celebrity you would have wanted to fuck at 14?
Oh,
like
every
you
single one
being,
of them.
Yeah, you
all
being
of them.
14.
Yes. I don't know. Jessica Biel in Blade Trinity was like, what's up?
Yeah, what if she was like, hey, come to my trailer?
Yeah, but I'm a guy and she's like a lady. It's different.
Hey, women like sex too.
I know.
See,
I'm kidding because, like, that's how it's treated. It's like South Park where Kyle is trying to explain to the police that his kindergarten brother is having an affair with the kindergarten teacher, and the kids
and he's like, "Oh, cool, awesome."
They go, "Nice."
Yeah, nice.
That's the catchphrase.
Well, that's the whole thing, and
standard.
There's always the fucking hacky, you know, road comics that are always just like, "Oh man, I wish where were all these teachers when I was in school?" And it's like, it's either all or nothing. You can't keep saying, well, I wanted to fuck a teacher, but then women aren't allowed to, you know, be girls and want to fuck, you know, up, basically. So it's like this weird thing where, once again, you've turned it where, well, the men are privileged and they deserve, like, they should be entitled to fucking that teacher. And it's like, no, these are still children. We need to. You're also teaching them. I don't know. There's so much nuance to this idea, and I feel like this actually goes all the way back to the beginning of the conversation. But we just get so tied up in the whataboutisms and the easy way out and the simplicity of whatever. Like, a tweet is 280 characters now. People try to put an entire story into 280 characters, and it's like, there is so much fucking more than those letters and punctuation.
I hate social media so much.
Yeah, it's awful.
I don't care. I don't even give it. But look, Army of the Dead's coming out. It looks awesome.
What is this movie?
It looks awesome. Dave Bautista's in it. It's a Zack Snyder movie. Hey guys, are you Zack Snyder fans like I am? And I would say I am, if only because I see what he's trying to do, and I appreciate it.
What if that's the most controversial statement on this episode? That you're a Zack Snyder fan?
I don't even think his movies are that good, but I see what he's trying to do, and he does it with such vigor and personal just craving. Like, you can tell what he is trying to do is like his, like just the essence of creative spirit, of his version of creative spirit. That's how I experience his movies. Yeah. I think Sucker Punch is awful, for example, but like,
300, Watchmen,
I mean,
Dawn of the
great.
Dead.
I think Watchmen's great. I think Dawn of the Dead's great. I think Batman versus Superman is great. I think Man of Steel is solid. I think it's interesting that that's more well regarded than Batman versus Superman.
I agree.
I think
I don't
they
understand.
share similar. What's the thing? I'm like, similar bad things. There's a better word for that.
Well, first of all, you can't have one without the other, and secondly, the opening with Bruce Wayne running into the buildings
is the greatest thing of all time in any superhero movie.
That whole scene is better than all of Man of Steel, and you can't have that scene without Man of Steel.
Yeah. So I think Man of Steel had a more cohesive storyline, and it didn't try to do so much. Whereas Batman versus Superman was really muddled and messy, and I mean, I loved the movie, but it was ridiculous. But at the same time,
yeah.
So, anyways, March, Justice League Snyder Cut's coming out, and then Army of the Dead, where Dave Bautista is leading a team of mercenaries, including Tig Notaro, who shot all of her scenes against a green screen to replace Chris, into Las Vegas to perform a heist during the zombie apocalypse. That's the movie.
That's
it looks
fun.
Fucking awesome. It looks fucking awesome.
Ocean's 11 with zombies.
I think it looks more like Rainbow Six Vegas, which I never played, but I saw like a trailer for about 8 years ago. And I would say combine that with Dawn of the Dead. But I think the zombies are shuffling. I don't think that they're running.
Okay.
Based on the trailer, that's what it kind of looked like to me.
Well,
I love Dave Bautista also. He's the man.
Yeah, he's great. What about Hitman versus Aliens?
Yeah, what's that?
Hitman versus Aliens?
Yeah, what's that? What the fuck is that? I don't know what that is.
You have no idea?
Is that like Timothy Oliphant fighting like an alien?
No, that's a movie that you and Alex started filming, and I found the footage of it.
Oh my god!
On your hard drive.
I remember! Holy titty fuck! I remember exactly what this is. It was, we were trying to figure out a way to just get immediately into a story, and it was a hitman that was gonna kill somebody, and then like there was an alien that like abducts him, and like that's like the story. And then what we were gonna do is have, oh my god, I remember this, because I don't think we were using computers really at the time, so it was gonna be mostly like real life action stuff. So it was shot in the summer, and it would be like a hitman shoots an alien, and then we would cut and then throw up a bag of freshly mowed grass and then film that. It would look like they exploded into grass. But if you film grass, I firmly believe you don't really know it looks like grass if it's really quick. It just looks like somebody exploded into flakes. So that's what we were going for. There's probably only about a minute and a half footage of that.
Well, it's like it starts as a chase, but yeah, I mean, and then like they both look up, and then an alien spaceship is supposed to come down.
That's exactly where we were supposed to be airlifted. That's where it was. That's where we got to. That was awesome. That's so awesome. That's a great idea for a story still, actually, for like a shitty Nicolas Cage movie.
There's that. There's Viper Force.
Oh, that's amazing. You had chickenpox in
I
that
did.
movie.
Yeah, it's fucking bad.
That poor guy. This poor guy.
Yeah, and then Of Unknown Origin, found some making fun of movies.
Did you see Mad Max's Japanese Assassins?
I did.
Oh, thank God.
That's on there.
The one I wanted.
Aw. Yeah, I can send all that to you.
Send everything to me, and I'll watch it, and I'll just be like, oh jeez.
The thing is though, it's not edited, so I have to re-edit everything. It's just like the clips.
No way.
Yeah.
So there's even more footage.
There's more You know that Vines 2 deleted footage of Billy and Taylor and Casey all talking?
Shut your fucking mouth.
That's on there.
We can create the director's cut like we've always wanted.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I'm so excited. That footage was awful. I deleted like 5 minutes of just nonsense.
I know you did. But
I know
this... I watched it. I was like, this is shit.
Yeah, really bad. I could not get any reactions out of that cast.
Are you ready for the piece de la resistance? Is that the phrase?
resistance. Piece de resistance. It's just piece de resistance. You do not need the la. It is piece de resistance.
Piece of hors d'oeuvres. Vines 3. The original Vines 3. Dude, you and Wes at the cottage.
That thing was like completely shot. We just needed to put like the effects in.
It's on
like,
there.
There's like 30 minutes of footage on that thing.
I know. I got it. For anyone that's listening or watching, I went through Kevin's
freaking out.
So Kevin's
sorry, you go first. Holy
Kevin's
shit.
iMac desktop like family computer took a shit.
From like 03.
Dude, it's from fucking forever ago, but it took a shit. I took the hard drive out of it and tried to hook it up with like an external cable to my computer, and it wouldn't work. And then I tried it like a couple months later, and then it wouldn't work. And then I got frustrated, and I'm like, well, fuck it. I'm going to bang it on the table a couple times. And then I plugged it in, and it still didn't work, but it was like, I can feel like it's not making a weird sound like it was, but it still wouldn't hook up. I waited another 3 months, and then I hooked it up again, and it didn't work. And then I was like, I'm going to unhook it, hook it back in, and it didn't work. And then I unhooked it, like this kept going on. And then 2 weeks ago, was it 2 weeks, 1 week, whatever, I was like, you know what? It's fucking 2 a.m. I don't give a shit. I'm going to try this again, and then I'm going to put it in storage. And then I plugged it in, and it fucking worked. Like a goddamn dream. And I got everything off of it as quick as possible, and then put it on my hard drives, and she's cooking.
Hey, okay, now that we've established that, we made a bunch of projects that were unrealized or unfinished, and that's fine. But the one that he is talking about, that is crazy, because we made a Vines 1 and 2. I think we've talked about a bunch on the show. We've actually provided links, I think, even at some point.
Yeah.
But you can watch them on Vimeo. I think they're still up there.
Yep.
We made a third one a few years ago, and we never completely finished it, but we have a bunch of footage for it, and we've been meaning to figure something out with it. But
I think Vines 3 was like 8 years ago, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah. Oh, you mean the one that we made?
Yeah.
No, it was, like 7 years. Yeah, it was a while ago. I was still in a valet, so I was still like running like 7 miles a day, which was awesome.
Yeah.
But prior to that, we had made an original 3, which was made right after 2. I mean, like right after. It was so quickly made, and it was with a whole new cast, because it was like my sisters were in it, and like their boyfriends and their friends. So we had like a whole new cast. So you didn't have to recast ourselves. You could just make a movie. And it was a spinoff with Wes's character. And he was going to call Alex's character for advice. And I think we shot everything but Alex's scenes. That is crazy, because especially with today's editing techniques, like you can just make shit up with the stuff that's there. And you can have like a new version, and you can like complete the trilogy. And I thought that footage was lost. I was looking for that footage on old videotapes years ago. I sat down specifically. I got all the old cameras working. You know, guys, those old cameras, they didn't have it was just beyond VHS. And it was like a mini VHS.
Mini DV.
Yes, but it was technically digital, I think, in some way.
Digital video.
Whatever that even fucking means, by the way.
You're still using tape. I don't know what the fuck.
Exactly. And I went through a whole, 50 of these things looking for footage. And I was never the best organizer back in those days. So if I did make notes.
Do you still have those tapes?
I do, but I don't know how I must have accidentally taped over it, because I looked everywhere, and I was like, that's it then. It's over. That's it then. How did you find it? Are you sure you found it all?
I mean, it's a folder that's titled Vines 3, and it's Wes. I mean, it's all in there, to my knowledge.
Do you know how many minutes are in there?
I haven't checked minutes, but it's a pretty mighty sized file folder.
Holy shit.
I can check how long, but yeah, I just figured I'd end this with a lot of happiness.
Either way, because of climate change, my dad used to be in the Coast Guard, and the Coast Guard would allow you to rent a cottage they owned on the beach. And so he would do that every other year or so. And one year I went up there with Wes and I was like, bro, this is a perfect location. Like, let's take advantage of this location and make this movie. And he was like, all right, it'll take like 5 minutes. Like, you can make movies so quickly in high school.
Yep.
There is no beach there, to my knowledge, anymore. Like,
Are you fucking kidding?
Yeah, it's pretty crazy to see the difference because it's night and day. Like, there used to be a beach, and then now it's just like there's still water, but there's no beach. Like, it just goes up to beach grass, and you can't really hang out there.
That is so depressing. Point Betsy, right?
Point Betsy, yeah. Love Point Betsy.
I went there once.
Yeah, I used to bring people there. I always wanted to bring a lady, but I never was able to.
Well,
that was the first place I got drunk at, actually.
That was the first place I got drunk at.
I was 16. Were you there with me? I know Wes gave me the Heimlich maneuver and made me vomit. And then
I vomited on my own. I was having a pretty good night drinking some Rolling Rocks.
Oh, those are good. I remember we smoked some weed out of a Wendy's cup there because it was the first time I smoked weed as well. I did a lot when I was up there. And we ate like a whole box of donut holes. And my parents were like, what the fuck is this? And we were like, I don't know.
I know you said donut holes, but for a split second, I thought you said dildos. Yeah, we ate a whole box of dildos, and then my parents are like, what the fuck is this?
And we're like, I don't know.
And then they found the Victoria's Secret gift card, and you're like, wait, that's not where they don't sell dildos. All right.
They don't?
I don't know. Melania doesn't want one.
I don't know. Well, this has been a great episode. I'm going to leave you before my energy levels dip because that is all wonderful.
Mine too. I'll start uploading those to a Google Drive and send that over to you.
Yes, do that, and I'll look at them, and I'll download some editing software, and oh my god, we could complete a couple movies, just like complete them.
I started editing. Like I've been doing a thing now where I'm trying to edit multiple projects at the same time because then I feel like they'll all get done quicker instead of me just wanting to work on one and then never getting around to it, so then it's not getting done. But if I have a bunch of different ones I can bounce around to and then do, like, oh, I'm doing this one, and then I just 2 hours go by and I've worked 2 hours on one thing versus never even opening the computer and not working on anything. So, but I started editing a couple of those movies and putting it together into what I think it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
So.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So exciting. Maybe something good will come of this bullshit.
I think so. I can't believe it fucking worked. I'm sure if I plugged it in right now, it wouldn't work again. The hard drive.
I wouldn't be surprised. So. That's crazy. That is crazy. Cool. I love it.
This was great. Right. What a fun episode.
Great episode.
Good talking to you.
Good talking to you. Everyone have a good time. Save your VHS players and your VCRs. Save your VCRs and your VHS tapes because in some ways those might be the only recordings we have of that specific item that you might have, and that's important. Even if it's just a security camera of an old jewelry store. That you have those. That's why. Yes, that is my example. Yes. I was like, where'd that improv come from? Yep. But it's true, though. It's important to save stuff, so. All right. I'll see you, bud. Bye. Love you. Love you, too. I love that every episode just ends with us laughing. I know. Oh, my God.